Okay, our session is recording, and I want to officially welcome you to tonight's session. In this lesson, we are going to be talking about stakeholder analysis. And stakeholder analysis is all about trying to understand your stakeholders, identifying your stakeholders, and their expectations. Yeah, that is what we're going to be doing. In projects, once you understand who your stakeholders are and their expectation, what do they want from you, that is a very good way to start. So looking at it sequentially, you first receive a project brief that this is what we want you guys to do for us. And then, as a good project manager, you need to understand who are involved in this project. Everyone affected by this project in one way or the other, directly or indirectly, is a stakeholder. And you need to understand the stakeholder. You first need to identify them, fish them out, and understand their expectations, their need. So that is what we're going to cover in this lesson. So I'll quickly share my screen so we can proceed. Okay. I'll start by asking us a simple question. And I'm going to pick a random person, pick someone randomly and ask question. And I'm picking Vivian. Vivian, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you. Good evening.
Okay. Okay. In this our boot camp, can you list the stakeholders in this boot camp? Because this boot camp is a project, I want you to list all the stakeholders.
Okay. First of all, the lead stakeholder is our coach, Mr. Charles. Then we, the students, as the team members. Then what's the name? Shidera, the admin, all the admin. Then those working behind the scene, also the stakeholders. Then I think for now.
Okay, that's good. And anyone then volunteer to assist?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, carry on.
Okay, sir. Stakeholders in this project is our coach. We will be the students, the admins, then the company that will be involved during our internship.
Okay.
All of them combined together are our stakeholders.
Okay. Okay, good. But why is everybody trying to make me the main stakeholder here? I'm not the main stakeholder here. Yeah, I'm not.
You are one of the stakeholders. You are not the.
I'm not,
You are
but
not the.
everybody is trying to make me the main stakeholder.
We, the
Okay.
students, are the main stakeholders, sir.
Thank you, Aisha. Aisha, I owe you a cup of tea. I told you guys that the main stakeholder is the financier, the person funding the project.
Exactly.
Is the
Okay.
stakeholder.
Okay.
So as this project stand, I'm the project manager. And I'm equally a team member. So
we are the main
that's what I
stakeholders.
said. I think I'm the project lead.
I'm trying to execute what you guys ask me, what you guys are paying for. Yeah. So the expectation here, you are financing this project. At the end of the day, you want to become a project manager. You want to get a job, a good job. That is it. That's why you're financing this project. Collectively, as a student, you are the main stakeholder. I can even call you the project sponsor. Because if you did not pay for this bootcamp is not going to hold. Yeah? Are you getting it? So, the project sponsor is a stakeholder. I'm not sponsoring this project. I'm just implementing this project. That's what I'm doing here. I organize it, and I equally, as a project manager, I'm equally a developer, kind of, because I'm handling I can just organize the boot camp without even teaching. In that regard, I'm just a project manager. I can hire teachers, somebody will take a topic on stakeholder analysis, or someone will take project initiation, another person will take project planning, another person will take execution. I can hire up to 3 teachers or 3 instructors to help me execute this boot camp without me even appearing in any of the lessons. Yeah, that makes me a project manager. Then all these instructors becomes team members, and you who paid for this becomes the project sponsor. Simple. It's not difficult. It's just a basic understanding. You cannot tell me somebody hire you to plan a wedding and you become the project sponsor. Are you the person wedding, or are you the person bringing the money?
No.
So understand that the financier, the funder, is the main stakeholder. You can be angry if I don't deliver what is expected. So I'm working with your expectations. Yeah, that's why before we start a boot camp, I will have a workshop, a webinar where you people comes, and I'll give you opportunity to ask questions. That the time you are asking questions, that is the time I'm trying to gather requirement, understand your expectation. What are you expecting? Some of you will tell me, Mr. Charles, are you going to give me automatic job? I say, I don't give automatic job, but I will prepare you in such a way that it's very easy for you to get a job. These are your expectations. Some will say, are you going to give us internship? I tell you, yes, it's automatic internship. That is expectations. Some will say, Are you going to give us reference letter? I say, sure. We've been giving people reference. So expectations from the financiers. At the end of the day, some of you, after the webinar, will not pay. Maybe they feel I don't meet their expectation. They don't want to pay and they don't join the bootcamp. But some of you, at the end of everything, they pay, they join the bootcamp. Means, yeah, they feel that we can meet their expectation. That is it. So let's look at our note to understand it more deeply. Stakeholder analysis is a critical step in project management that involves identifying individuals like you, groups or organizations affected by the project and assessing their need. So many companies have approached me, Mr. Charles, can you and the organization help us to train 20 of our staff? Yes, organization, group of people can be part of it. The other day, a group of ladies in Abuja, it is a club, you know, and most of these ladies, they have packaged themselves. They want to move to UK. They were like around 25 of them. They approached me to organize a bootcamp for them. They need a practical skill that can help them get a job. I handle them on project management. I tutor them and package them. And I think all of them are already in this country. Most of them are in Scotland. It's a group. Yeah. So it's individuals, groups, or organizations affected by the project and assessing their need. Some of you will come here and tell me, in this project management, I want to equally become a data analyst. I'll tell you, this bootcamp covers only project management. If you want data analysis, you have another package. That is their need. There's something they need, their interests. So that is what stakeholder analysis is extremely important if you don't want to miss the point. If you want a situation where the stakeholders are going to be very happy with you, once you finish the project, they will come back with another project, they will entrust you with another project, and that's it. And that's why you see, I don't even do aggressive campaign, I don't do marketing, but I'm always getting students, you know, because some of you as stakeholders, after the bootcamp, they are happy, they go out and tell their family members, Mr. Charles, someone gave me your number, when are you starting the, so because this is referral, because I performed very well, and they're now trying to recommend me for other projects. So we need to assess the stakeholders' need, interest, their interest, and their level of influence. Stakeholders have influence. So those who are bringing in money have influence, high influence. This analysis enables the project managers and teams to better understand expectation of each stakeholder and plan for effective engagement, communication, and conflict resolution throughout the project life cycle. That is the important thing here. Yeah. That's why I try to understand you guys, break you down, tell you what is expected within the duration. Try to let you understand the full life cycle, project life cycle, before even we dive in. So let's look at examples of stakeholders. Looking at this diagram, these are organizational stakeholders. Yeah, I want to make it clear for you. because some of us are going to be mixing up two things here. Some of you are going to be mixing up project stakeholders and organizational stakeholders. Project stakeholders are different from organizational stakeholders. Every organization have got their stakeholders. Even if they are not executing any project, they have stakeholders. These are people who have vested interest, or the service of the company here is being affected in one way or the other. They are stakeholders. Let's take Facebook is a very common or popular company. Yeah, in Facebook have their stakeholders. Employees of Facebook, they are stakeholders. Senior executives are stakeholders. Shareholders, all of us who bought shares of Facebook or Meta, we are stakeholders, because we're always monitoring the share. Has it added something? Is it rising? Because we are stakeholders. We have interest. When we hear that Facebook share is struggling, all of us will start panicking, because our money is there. We invested in that company. You know, customers are stakeholders. All of us who are using Facebook to read the news, to share our moments with friends and family, we are customers. We are stakeholders. Suppliers and contractors. Some of us who are now suppliers and contractors on Facebook. Who are the suppliers? Can anybody tell me who are the suppliers and contractors on Facebook? Anyone? Content creators, they are suppliers. All of you are doing content. You are suppliers and contractors in Facebook. We have end users. All of us who are using Facebook in one way or the other, we are stakeholder. And then families of employees. All of us who are working for Facebook, our families are stakeholders as well. Why? Because there's something we call maternity leave and paternity leave. When a baby arrives, the mother working for Facebook will go on maternity leave. Why is he going on maternity leave? You see that baby born is already, because the baby came. That's why, so it means the baby is already enjoying some benefit from stakeholder. And you as a father, your wife, who is not working on Facebook, put to bed, because your family, your wife and that baby is a stakeholder. They will give you a leave called paternity leave, 2 weeks paternity leave. At times they pay you for your paternity leave to go and look after your wife and the baby, because they are stakeholders. You see, indirectly, what's happening in your family is already affecting the company. If your child is not well, you need to take your child to hospital, you take a leave, and the company will grant it. And you see, the company will lose some days of productivity from you, because your child is a stakeholder. So we need to understand stakeholder analysis very well. Investors. We are looking for investors so we can expand. Who are the investors? Those who are bringing more money, or those who have already invested. They are stakeholders. If anything happening to the company, our investment is there. Lenders. At times, companies goes to bank to borrow money to carry out one project or the other. That bank becomes a stakeholder. Partners. You can see maybe Facebook is partnering with United Kingdom to digitalize one aspect, or for data exchange, or one thing or the other. Or Facebook partnering with OpenAI for data aggregation, or one thing or the other. These partners are stakeholders. Then we have unions and regulators, who are the people regulating the industries. You know, some people regulate the industries. Data protection agencies, data protection units, ICOs, those who are implementing and regulating all these data laws, GDPR, they are regulators. The other time, Facebook paid more than 200 billion. So, 200 million because of their issue. They were sued for data compromise with Cambridge Analytica. They paid 200 million out of court settlement for breach of data breach. These are what the regulators can do. We have community group. Where these organizations are, we have a lot of community groups there. For instance, some of these oil companies in Niger Deltas, you see all these Ijo group, Ijo boys, these are Ebesu boys coming to demand for their own share. And they settle them. These are groups, pressure groups from community. You are taking their land, you are oil spillage, they can't go to farm. Federal government is not bringing enough compensation. Yeah. And that's why you see some of this area, they keep agitating, and you see some of these states, they start getting derivative from federal government allocation. Then we have medias. They are stakeholders as well, medias. They can paint you red, and you see a company start shaking. Yeah. As a matter of fact, if you go to Mark Zuckerberg's house, there are some media people from BBC, CNN, that stations that place, station in the man's house, 24 hours. That is where these are global billionaires. If you go to Elon Musk, their house, they have permanent media people stationed there from BBC. Anywhere they go, they follow them. Even if they cough, they see them with another woman, they capture it. Yes, that's what it means to be a public figure. If he goes for a meeting in a hotel and stays more than required, they say, what is he staying in that hotel for? He's been in this hotel for too long. It's like he's doing something else. They follow you. You can never be private. You lose your private life because you are a company director or this and that, or you are the governor of a state, or because you are the president of a country. If you go to Aso Rock now, there are permanent media houses from different media houses waiting to have a glimpse of the president. Yeah. And then government are stakeholders when it comes to organization. If you want to build anything in any local government, you need a permit, local government permit. Even in your own house, like here in London where we live, even the house you bought, in front of your house doesn't belong to you. If you want to do any param in front of your house, even your parking space in front of your house, you still need a permit from the council. You can, before you build anything outside what is in the plan, you need to go and get another authorization. You cannot just overnight say, this is my house. After all, I paid for this house. It's one-story building. I need to make it two-story. You don't do that. If you need to do that, you need another approval. So that's why, first, understand the organizational stakeholders that might affect the company you are even working for before you even start talking about a project you are working on. So this doesn't mean that when you are working on a project, you must try to recognize all these people. No. But it's important you understand what stakeholders means, even before you start thinking of project stakeholder, because this is a very high level, we call this high level stakeholders. As we drill down, we look at project stakeholders, not at the organizational level, but at the project level. And these are project stakeholders. These are the people that can make up, become your stakeholder in your project. If you look at this, we have streamlined it down. Almost all the organizational stakeholders did not make it in project stakeholders. You see here, you look at here, you cannot see shareholders here. Yeah. So the first person we'll capture here is the project manager. Project manager. You are the project manager, you are the driver of that project. Then we'll have project team members. We'll have project process owners. Then we'll have who works on the process. We'll have customers of the process output. We'll have suppliers. Then we'll have operations manager. Then we'll have finance manager. Then we'll have procurement manager. We'll have HR and training manager. We'll have performance manager. And we'll have senior executives. In most cases, the funding comes from the senior executive. They are going to be the people that are going to secure the funding for the project. And that funding is going to be dispensed through finance department. That's how finance manager. So if you are working in a project, for instance, you are being hired to do a job in local government, you do not go to the maybe it's the chairman, local government chairman that pushed or secured the funding for that particular project, or the leader of the council, or maybe a councillor through a bill proposed and some projects started going on. When it's time for funding, you do not go to the chairman of the local government, or you go to finance department. These are where the money releases. And for that to happen, you equally need procurement manager. Anything you are buying, procurement manager need to, for instance, you need a bag of cement. You do not go to the market to buy that bag of cement. The finance will release the money through the procurement manager. The procurement manager will then procure the resources you need, and then you and your team will have bags of cement, sand to do your job. So if there is any way to eat money on that project, it means the project manager with the finance manager and the procurement manager need to liaise together to divert fund. The project manager cannot just eat money. The money must come you and they are fine, because the finance manager must see where the money is going before authorization. And the procurement manager will agree, yes, we are procuring this and you need to prove evidence of procurement. So you are the project manager doesn't automatically give you access to start chopping money. Like some of us, after how much is the project? No, you might not see money like that. So all these people here you see are people that can make it. It's not automatic, but it's generically they are likely going to be the people to make it in your project. Depending on the project, yeah, I'm not saying it must be, because some project might not be organizational project. This is from the organization point of view, company point of view. For instance, if you are working for events or wedding or funeral, which is not family. So there is no need of looking for finance manager because it's a private project, not like company project or not a government project. So you use your initiative to decide who, but this will give you idea of who makes it within your project as stakeholders. The purpose of stakeholder analysis is to understand the expectations of the stakeholder. So expectation, identify and understand the need, expectation and concern of each stakeholder. Manage influence, try to understand who calls the shots, who are the big boys, you know, who are the big boys, who are likely to say that this project is not continuing, or who are likely to say that you are fired. So these are the people you need to understand, determine which stakeholder have the most influence on the project, and plan to manage their expectation accordingly. Yeah, in as much as it's good to be very humble and try to respect every stakeholder, but there are some people you need to manage very closely. You don't want them to frown. They should be happy at all times. It's important. In projects, we play politics as well. Yeah, the big boys need to be happy. If they are happy, your project is progressing. If they are not happy, they are going to frustrate you. No matter how good you are, and they are not happy with you, they are going to frustrate you. So you might find a way to carry them along. These are the people who secure the funding for that project. Then stakeholder analysis will help us to understand the communication, the method of communication, because we don't communicate with the stakeholders through the same channel. The influence and the interests of a stakeholder will determine the channel with which to communicate with that stakeholder. So develop clear communication plan based on their interests and need of every stakeholder. Align goals. Ensure the project objectives align with key stakeholders' interests, which help in securing their support. You see this topic, stakeholder, is a very big topic in project management, which you really need to pay attention. Even during your interview, they are going to ask you, how do you manage difficult stakeholders? Because they are there. They are there. So you need to, just because you are from Nigeria could be a big problem. So you have to work hard to manage these stakeholders. I'm not trying to get you scared, but managing stakeholders is more important than even managing the resources. They're all very important, but stakeholders, because these are people that can make you unemployed, and you don't need that. Steps to conducting stakeholder analysis. To conduct stakeholder analysis, first thing is to identify who are the stakeholders. Make a list of people. That's why when we are starting, I try to tell you who are the stakeholders. You make a list. Make a list of all people, groups, or organizations that will be affected by the project. Typical stakeholders include customers, vendors, sponsors, regulatory bodies, project team members, and end users. Classify stakeholders, categorize stakeholders based on their level of influence and interest. We'll call it influence grid, stakeholder influence grid. So classify them based on their interest and classify them based on their interest. Interest and influence is very, very important. So use a common classification. Use a we call it power interest matrix or power interest grid is a tool. Power interest matrix is kind of a chart which divides stakeholders into categories. So in the power interest matrix, it's going to look like this. High power, high interest. These are a group of people. You are classifying some people under this class. They are high power, high interest. Find all the stakeholders who have high power, high interest. Add them here. Under this high power, high interest, you need to actively engage them and manage them closely. Then we have another group called high power, low interest. These people have high power, but they don't have interest in your project. Your project does not consist, not their business. But people with high power, high interest, these are the people that brought the money, like the stakeholder or the project sponsors who secure the funding for that project. They have high power and they have high interest. High interest, they want the success of this project. But those with high power and low interest, they have the power to stop that project. They don't have the interest. Whether the project succeeds or not is not their business. Such people are, let's say, local government authority. If you are building a house in local government and you do not have authorization, you don't have proper permit, they can come there and seal the project. Doesn't concern them. They don't know that you have been given a mandate to deliver that project within 6 months. They can decide to seal that house for 2 months, pending when you get all the necessary documentation. They don't care. Even if you are going to go above your budget, they don't care. People like health and safety officers here in UK, they always go into construction industry or places of work. If you have poor working condition, they will seal the site. They don't care how much is being invested in that project. They have low interest in the project. Their main interest here is that they are doing their job. That's them. Like, for instance, we that are into data or into IT. All these regulatory bodies like GDPR, data regulation, and the rest of them, they can decide to close down our company, ask us to bring our application down because of data breach. They don't care. They can penalize us, even the amount of money that is higher than the project were. They don't care. So why or how do you manage this kind of people? Keep them satisfied. You must satisfy them. How do you satisfy them? Look at what the law says and comply. In that particular project you are working on, what does the law say? Does the law say you need a permit, a local government permit, before that project can go on? Make sure you get the local government permit and display the permit at the strategic places within the project. If they need data protection one way or the other, try to comply with the regulation, GDPR. you know, data by design. All these key regulatory laws, try to comply. That's the only way you can run away from these people. Health and safety. Make sure you have health and safety equipment. All the people working in the site where you are project manager, make sure they wear PPEs, protective wears. If where they need to wear hard hats, let them wear hard hat. If where they need to wear hard boots, let them wear hard boots. If they need to wear goggles, let them wear. If they need to wear hand glove, let them wear hand glove. If they need to wear protective, this high visibility vest, everybody should then wear high visibility vest. Make sure there is fire extinguishers at the strategic location. Make sure there is access and egress. Make sure there is fire point. That is compliance. In anywhere in UK construction site, all these are listed. As long as you have met all these requirements, nobody is coming to seal your site. If you are doing a hot work in your site, make sure you have hot permit. We call it hot permit. Make sure you have fire watch person, fire warden in the site where the hot work is going on. Like in our own case, where there is welding, fabrication, they are cutting iron, fire or anything. That's what we call hot permit. You need hot permit to do that. And we need to have, we call it fire watch person with fire extinguishers waiting for any kind of emergency. That is a regulatory compliance. So it's not a joke, because very soon some of you might find yourself in a very big work, construction work, and you don't know what to do. So these are things you need to do. All the stakeholders, the high-powered stakeholders and low-interest stakeholders will bounce on you. That's why they are looking for people who understand project management, so that the big amount of money companies are bringing in for capital projects will not be affected by this kind of, you didn't understand that you need to do this or that. Okay, as we progress, we'll have another group of people. These people, we call them low power, high, and they don't have power, but they have high interest. These people are likely going to be the people that is going to use the outcome of that project. Yeah. For instance, if you hear that Facebook is implementing content creators, this in like now they said when Facebook is going to start paying content creators, everybody started, jubilating, waiting. Some people do not sleep again, waiting. Is it they started paying Nigerians and Nigeria? Everybody now in Facebook, how can my account be monetized? Yeah, all these people, they are low power. They don't have any power to make this project work. They don't have any power to stop this project. Facebook can wake up and say, well, or even the ICU or anybody can say, Facebook, stop this monetization. Yeah. But you that is going to use it, that want your account to be monetized, you don't have power to decide whether that monetization is going on or not. All you need to do is praying so that it can finally be implemented. You have high interest. Every day you'll be checking on your account. Is it monetized? What can I do again to monetize it? So these are low power, high interest. All of us, in most cases, belongs to this low power, high interest. When it comes to this application we are using today, like all this AI we are using, we don't have power to say this AI is staying or this AI, but they can wake up and say, open AI, due to AI law, this, stop. Yeah. Government can wake up today and say, we don't want Nigerians to use Facebook again. They've said it before. They have the power, and we'll start. We don't have. All we can do is go to road and do demonstration. If they are lucky, if we are lucky enough, they might say okay. But that doesn't mean that even our demonstration is just we trying our luck. We don't have power. Then there's another group of people called low power, low interest. Can you imagine? They don't even have power and they don't even have interest. Monitor, but communicate minimally. I'll tell you this kind of people in a construction project. There are some people in construction projects. They don't care if a project that is supposed to last for 6 months is lasting for 2 years. As a matter of fact, they are happy that this project that is supposed to end in 6 months is now 2 years. Why? It's not their business. They just want a place. They'll be going every day to earn small money for feeding. They want money for their daily bread. That's what matters to them. The outcome of that project is not their business. That is low interest. They don't even have power. Such people, they can just sack them, just like this. You can sack them. They don't have any power. Such people are, if you come to a construction site, you see laborers. They are there to clean sites. They don't even know how long the project is going to last. But they are praying that the project is going to be forever. But both of us know as project manager that project cannot be forever. So if they are praying that the project is forever, they are not praying a good prayer for you as a project manager. As a matter of fact, they are bewitching you as a project manager. You have electricians, you have plumbers. For instance, here in UK, electricians and plumbers, they will come to work, like now in a project that I say everybody starts by, let's say 9 o'clock, and we close by 5 o'clock. Then you see some of these electricians and plumbers, they will come to work by 10 o'clock. It will take them another 1 hour to start setting up the equipment. Once they finish setting the equipment, they've not done anything. They will go out for 15 minutes fag break. Fag break is smoke. They will go and smoke for 15 minutes. They will come back. They will drill one hole. They will go back for tea break. They will go and drink tea break. They will come back. They drill another hole. They will go for lunch break. They come back for lunch break. They will drill another hole. They will start packing their tool bag. By 3 o'clock, they've closed work. They'll pack their bag and go. Once they check the project manager is not on site, they pack their bag and go. Tomorrow, they come back again. They will lay one pipe. They will go home. Next tomorrow, they will come back. Before you know it, at times before even they set up their toolbox, they will go for fag break. Fag break, tea break, how many break? they'll go home. They don't have interest. It's clearly low interest. They need the money. That's what they're bringing them there is the money. That is it. So this kind of people, you need to give them serious monitoring. You need to monitor them. If they say no, you tell them no, no fact break. No, do your work. Stand their ground, monitor them. Some of these laborers, you know, they don't care. I've done that before. I've been part of, so I know the trick very well. Those days will come to you when you came here newly. We go to do job in all these construction sites. We know all those things. You just come, you disappear, you go to one toilet and be there and knocking sleep. You knock sleep for 2 hours. You come out, you run around everywhere. Hey, everybody see you. You just do one or two things, you disappear again. You know, before you know it, you don't carry, you'll be monitoring. Has anybody carried bag? Hey, everybody, hey, the work is over. Everybody will go. That day you are happy, you secured that day. You know, every day the main thing is you carry your timesheet. As long as they sign your timesheet, that the most important thing is your timesheet. Let them sign your timesheet for that day. And that's it. You know, some of these laborers that are working in stores, their job is to make sure that the store, the tool store, the material store is tidy. So they will tidy it. If they don't have anything to do, they will scatter everything. They will scatter it, they will go back and start tidying it, they will scatter it, they will go back. They are creating jobs for themselves. That kind of people, you can see them, they are not doing anything. They can just come and scatter the whole nail everywhere to create job for themselves. When the project manager or the site foreman is not, they scatter everything. Once they see the site foreman coming, they will go and start packing the tools. They say, hey, when you see them, you see that the place is in a mess. Every place is in a mess. You see them, they are busy packing, trying to arrange, but they created all those mess. So if you don't monitor them, this will become a cycle for them. They will be in that site, making up that, creating that cycle. They are not doing anything. They are keep taking money home. That is it. They have no, but some of them, immediately they get caught, they fire them immediately. You know, they have no power, they have no interest. So it's important to understand this power grid, power interest grid, so that you don't manage high power, high interest the way you manage low power, low interest. If you manage these two groups the same way, you are going to have a problem, because you don't need the same energy you are going to use to manage high power, high interest. To use that kind of energy to come and manage low power, low interest. You don't need it. You don't need the technicalities. You don't need the same reporting. So, analyze expectations and influence for each stakeholder, assess their expectation, potential concern, and the influence they wield over the project. This will help in prioritizing stakeholders and identifying strategic engagement or strategies for engaging them. Develop a communication and engagement plan. You don't manage with intuition. Some of us, I got crazy one day. I had a project. I entrusted in someone who has been a managing project. And when I came there, yeah, for them, it's normal to them. But for me, maybe because I'm a project manager, It didn't go down well with me.
Come on, you're supposed to be sleeping. Oh yeah, come.
Yeah, Mr.
Calm
Madam,
down.
please put yourself on mute. So, and when I get there, I saw the project manager on that site, and I asked the project manager, some of the things in this site, I'm not happy, I'm not comfortable the way things are going on here. I said, how do you manage? How do you do all this? How do you? One of the things that got me peace, there is no tool, there is no documentation. I said, how do you manage? He said, I use my intuition. I will measure it this way. I said, oh my God. These are graduates because their friends win a project and they have not been at, they don't have job for a long time. Their friend will tell them, okay, come and be a project, come and manage this project for me. And they will be committing blunder. It doesn't happen that way. If you need to give somebody a job as a project manager who doesn't, send the person for a boot camp at least. They will go there and they will start creating more problems. Yeah, it's good. That's why it's important. We manage projects with documentations. So, for you to have a good communication with stakeholders, you need to have a plan. Communication and engagement plan is extremely important. This will help us to tailor a communication plan to manage each stakeholder group effectively. Every group should have a tailored communication action plan. Define the frequency and content of communication based on their need and influence. It's just like in a hospital, you see some people, pregnant women, and some people in the hospital, their own is diabetic, they are diabetics. And some people in the hospital, they are children. Then you want to use the communication plan you are using to manage pregnant women, to manage children. You use it in a call it pediatrics or pediatricians. They don't use the same management plan, because in the gynecology, they are talking at antenatal, postnatal, disnatal. There's a lot of natal there. Yeah. You can't use all this natal to children or somebody who having diabetes, who is sugar up, sugar down, who have sugar this, sugar that. You are going to kill people there. It's the same way you manage a project. You don't use the same pattern you manage high interest to manage low interest. It's not gonna work. So there are some work to be done as a project manager. You need to do some work. Define frequency and content of communication based on. So frequency, there are some stakeholders you need to manage actively. Monitor them on daily basis. Like I told you the story of this low power, low interest. You need to follow these people every day. Monitor what they've done, what their contribution on that project, what they've meant to achieve that day. Have they done it? It's possible, it's important. Follow them. If you want to be a construction project manager, it's not easy. If you want to get it right, because you need to be up and do it. You don't just need to sit down in the office. Follow these boys up, go check, view what they've done on daily basis. If you want their project, that's why you see a lot of construction projects, they will go halfway, it become abandoned projects. Because the project managers will think we are big boys and they'll sit in the office and things will mess up. Because those you see boys are on the field, boys are walking, but they are not walking. They are playing around. And once the project sponsors, they got angry, they fire everybody because they are not delivering. Then the project will hang for another 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. And you see such projects in federal government, state government, local government, because there are no responsible project managers. They are not ready to stand up. They are not ready to go to site. They are not ready to make out time to monitor when they need to monitor on daily basis. The way you report to the project sponsors is not the way you report. Project sponsors, you might have time to report them on weekly basis. Weekly basis, you write a report, you go to them, you tell them what you guys have achieved for the week, what you guys are planning to do for next week. This is our challenges. You can't go there to disturb these big boys every day with your report. Every day you are coming to report. No, they don't need that. You are disturbing them. These are big boys. They have strategic jobs, strategic thinking to do. That's why they hire you. So you don't make reports that's why we have weekly project status reports. Weekly status reports. Some people can tell you, bring this status report on 2 weeks basis. Some can say, make it 1 month. For instance, you are working for a state government. You can't be going for government house every week to tell governor, this is our project. No. It can be on monthly basis. You go and report, give them updates of what's going on. But if you are reporting to the governor or the commissioner on monthly basis, and you want to apply that monthly basis to the site operatives, then it's not going to work. So you must have a plan for every stakeholder, communication plan for every stakeholder. So, how? These are practically how we're going to do it. The first thing is identify individuals and groups who may have a stake in the project. 2, sort them by their power and the interest. 3, plot them on power and interest metrics. 4, identify gaps between current and desired involvement level. And 5, create a plan to manage ongoing communication. And with this, you are not going to have problems. So if you are trying to identify them, you can use something like this to group stakeholders. This is what we call affinity diagram. You can use affinity diagram. You can use draw.io or to draw this kind of diagram. You have a lot of drawing tools you can use to create all this diagram. You see here, these are group. This is the project team, like you and your team members. But it's not, you and your team members are not the only person or the only people in this project. We have senior managers here as well. This is another group. Then we'll have process owners, people who work on this is another group. This is the within the organization, all the people that are affected. Then we'll have another people, other internal stakeholders. Then we'll have finance managers. Then we'll have these are external customers. They are not inside this. So you sort them by group. When you sort them, have a table like this. You mention the stakeholder. You mention their position. You in the organization. You mention their role in the project. You state their level of power, the level of awareness, the level of interest and the level of support you are enjoying from them. Capture all the stakeholders in a table. We're going to do that shortly, so you see it. And then this is how the power interest matrix looks like. Under this here, this diagram, you see under this, you look here, this is high. All the boxes on top is high interest stakeholders. So these people on red shirts are high interest, no, high power, and then they have low interest. This is low, this is interest, and this is power. So you see them here, they have high power, they have low interest. These people on green, they have high power, they have high interest. So high power, high interest. Then you see these people on blue, they have low power, they have high interest. Then these people on black, they have low power, they have low interest. So when you chunk all the stakeholders where they are supposed to belong, what do you need to do for the people with high power and low interest? Try to understand and satisfy their need. Understand and satisfy their need. People with high power, high interest, engage them and manage them actively. Nothing should come to them by surprise. They are the people who are bringing the money. Then this crowd, like I stated, you can call them operatives, like electricians, like bricklayers, like plumbers, like laborers. These are crowd. And if you come to, this is construction industry, if you come to IT industry, we have them as well. They are called developers. Have you hired a developer before? How many of you have hired a developer or worked with a developer before? Go to Upwork or Fiverr and hire a developer to do a work for you. You have a meeting with the developer, and the developer will say yes, yes, yes. And after the meeting, the developer will dump you. He will jump to another job. That's why so many of us, we are into IT. You hear that someone is doing 3 jobs. It's the same thing. Somebody doing 3 jobs. Somebody will already hire you to do a job for him this week, to do a job for him from Monday to Friday. You agree, you are working from home. You see another job, you go and apply. You pay them, you don't have any job. They hire you again. To work the same time, you stay them, you don't have another job. You've already secured 2 jobs. Then the 3rd job. So they will hear that you are going to have a meeting, you just jump and join this meeting. Immediately after the meeting, you jump away from that meeting. You join the meeting for another company. That's how you'll be jumping around. At the end of the day, you might end up not even achieving any meaningful thing for the 3 companies you are working. But you are here claiming, I'm a business analyst, I have 3 jobs, or you are a developer, you have 3 jobs. It's the same thing. That's why some company will devise a means to make sure that they will see you are working from home, but they'll be monitoring your screen to see what you are doing. Any moment your screen goes dead and nothing is happening, it's automatically recorded that you are absent, and it's going to affect your wages. Yeah. They track you, call it tracking. They track the way you walk because a lot of us, this is the same thing. We don't have interest. At times you tell them, yeah, I want this website or this app to be in green color. Then they will finish their work. You see the app in red color. They've forgotten everything because their mind is scattered. Their attention is divided among different projects. They can take what the other person is saying and give to you, and take your own and give to the other person. And when it's time to do a demo, you see a lot of gross error. They'll start defending it. Yeah, we wanted to show you this is the best. No, we intentionally did because we feel you are going to like it. No, they made a mistake. Yeah. I hired someone to sew a cloth for me in Nigeria, and he already packaged the cloth to send to me by DHL. I said, no. When you work for me, I do inspection. Before you package it, I said, okay, open it up. And open it, I said, this is not what I want. He said, no, this is for Odogu people. I intentionally put it for you. It's for Odogu. All the people in Nigeria, this is Odogu style. I said, shut up, my friend, which is Odogu style. I did a research before I asked you to do this particular design for me. You're telling me Odogu? No. And I say, go back. It took him 2 days to go back and, redo the whole thing. Because I already, if I hire them to sew cloth for me, I will pay them everything. Even my wife, I will pay them everything. So I said, if you ever pay them everything, don't forget that job. If you come to my wardrobe, you see a lot of clothes they send from Nigeria. I don't even know what I'm going to do with all those clothes. Because you tell them to do this, they will do another thing. And these days, I say, no. If you want to work for me, yes, I'm going to pay you very well. Yes, I don't mind. I pay 300,000 for one cloth. But you must be exactly the way I want it. No, you must get it. Yeah, that's what they do. So it is not only applicable to construction, it's not only applicable to IT, it's not only applicable to fashion and design. It's everywhere.
Where are they?
Mrs. Annie, please put yourself on mute.
Oh.
So that is why you have. Annie, I'm going to remove you from this class. I don't have
Okay. Okay. Where is Peter?
I'm going to remove this lady so that we
not crying. He's enjoying himself. Wait, it's like he's crying. He's crying.
Just remove her, sir, please. She's distracting us.
No worries, I know what to do.
Wait, maybe this piece I'm not sparked before.
Annie, please mute.
So sorry.
Okay. Sorry for the distraction.
Can we continue, sir?
The network is struggling to pull the screen, so I'm waiting for the screen to share. Okay. Sorry for the break in transmission. That's why some of us are always, if you have issue, take your issue out of this class. Don't bring your issue here to disturb others who are ready to learn. Some of us intentionally do this. You refuse to put yourself on mute while others are on mute because you want to distract the class. You just want unnecessary attention. Nobody cares about what you want. They are here, people are here to learn. Okay, this is what we call the metrics. High power, high interest, or a power interest metrics. So it's a key tool or strategy in trying to manage our stakeholders. In stakeholder analysis, you must understand how to use this in your stakeholder analysis. Is extremely important. And In stakeholder analysis as well, there's what we call gap analysis. There's a gap analysis in stakeholder analysis. While you are managing stakeholders, you need to try to understand if there is any gap you need to cover up. For instance, if you look at this table, you need to have a table like this. You have to always monitor this table. This table covers current and desire. This is stakeholder, this is current, this is desire. What this means is your current relationship with stakeholders and desired relationship. If your current relationship with stakeholders are not good, then it means there is a gap. You need to fill in the gap. If you look at this gap, this table, you find out that in the first column, which is the current relationship, you see here supportive is not ticked. You didn't tick supportive, meaning that this particular stakeholder is not supporting you. This stakeholder is not supportive. What does that mean? You might put a meeting to meet the stakeholder, and the stakeholder will tell you that I'm busy. You see, the stakeholder is avoiding you. You don't want to talk to you. You need to find out why this stakeholder is not supporting you. That is support. You see here, there is no support. The gap is this support. So in the desired relationship with your stakeholder, you need to enjoy full support of your stakeholder. You look at this particular table as well. You see stakeholder column, you see contact info, you see method, you see whom, how often, and this is communication action sheet. In this communication action sheet here, you must understand the communication method of every stakeholder. This stakeholder A here, communication info. If this stakeholder require that you need to manage this stakeholder with email, sending email with the stakeholder, then you capture the communication method is email. Don't try to contact the stakeholder through a phone call, because it's clear that this type of stakeholders, you only communicate to them through email, through reports. You don't call them. And then who communicates to this stakeholder in your team? You need to understand who communicates to the stakeholder. Then how often? You find that in some stakeholders, it needs to be documented. Some stakeholders, you need to communicate them on weekly basis. You need to send a report on weekly basis. You don't need to send them report every day. When you start sending them report every day, it means spam. You are spamming their email, and they don't need that. If you send email every day, you are going to have a problem with them. Every time you send a report, you should expect a feedback. Communication is two-headed, it's two-way. It's not one-way traffic. When you send a report, you need to get a feedback. So here is feedback log. You log the feedback. And these are these documents we've just explained here. Involvement worksheet. Involvement worksheet, current and desired. Communication action worksheet. That is the one you use for communication. You must have all these. Yeah. Okay, let's look at this example. And when we look at the example, then we can review the template we are going to be using for stakeholder analysis. So in this example or case study is a stakeholder analysis for a company called Food Traco Expansion Project. Project overview. The Food Traco Expansion Project aims to expand Food Traco multi-vendor food and grocery delivery platform from Rivers to other states in Nigeria. The project requires the involvement of various stakeholders, each with specific expectation, influence, and communication need. So you come up here with a table like this as the project manager. You see, this is stakeholders, this is rules, this is expectation, this is influence, and this is engagement strategy. So here, this is Food Traco, this is stakeholder, Food Traco executive team. What's their role and their interest in this project? They are the project sponsor in this project, and that is high interest. Expectation, high return on investment, successful market entry, that is the expectation. Their influence in this project, they have high influence in this project. Engagement, strategy, regular updates, and strategy alignment. Then we'll have another stakeholder. Here we'll have vendors, that is restaurants and grocers who are selling on this Food Traco app. They are service providers. Their expectation is increased sales. They want to increase their sales and they want efficient onboarding process. Their influence in this project, they have medium influence. They're not high interest. How do you communicate with them? You should have training session with them, to train them and support them on how to use the platform and during the onboarding. Then we'll have local government agencies. These are regulatory authorities and they are compliant with state regulation. That is what they're expecting you to do. State regulation, and they have high interest. What they expect from you is compliance reports and regular consultation. That's the way you communicate with them, send their compliance report. And then customers. Customers are the end users of this platform. Reliable, convenient service. That is their expectation, and affordable fee. And the customers who brings the money, they have high influence. So they are bringing money. They are actually bringing money. They are not just ordinary users. So customer feedback is important. We need to understand their feedback after every order. And post-launch survey, we need to carry out survey to understand the way they are feeling after every order. Then we have marketing team. They are stakeholders as well. Promotion and outreach, that's what they need to do here. And clear campaign goal, that is the expectation. They want to understand the clear campaign goal and resources. They have medium power or influence. And communication here is weekly progress updates and the resource allocation. That is what we are going to do with them as a stakeholder, and so as a project manager. Then we have logistics partner. Logistics, these are delivery people that deliver. So they are delivery providers. Expectation is timely and predictable demand. Here, their power or their influence is medium. How do you communicate or relate with them? Contracts, agreement, and scheduled meetings. You need to have agreement on how they are going, because they are partners. There should be a clear agreement. How much is their commission pay every? You need a clear contract agreement and periodic meeting to discuss their challenges. Then we have development team. These are the people, developers, who are making sure that the application is hosted and is live all the time. So they are platform developers. They need clear requirements, phase implementation. You need to tell them exactly what you need from them, what you need them to implement, the features, and when they are going to be coming out. They are high because they really need to be communicated. Any little problem in the application, like the senior developers, they really need to be have clear understanding of what needs to be done, because any little downtime in the app can affect the business adversely. And we'll have weekly sync up, testing feedback session. Then we'll have finance team or finance manager. They are the people who approves all the finances, and the expectation is budget control. The control to make sure that you work within your budget. They are always monitoring the budget and calling you order if you are trying to exceed your budget. They have high influence as well. Budget review, periodic financial reporting, that is the way you communicate or engage with them. You have operations team. Operations team, their duty is day-to-day management of the platform and smooth handover. That is the expectation. They need a smooth handover. And their interest or their influence is medium. They don't have high influence. And they need training sessions to understand the platform very well and understand the customer's expectation very well. And there should be a very good documentation on how to use the application and how to resolve customer query and every other thing. There should be good documentation. So, and they equally need this management post-launch comprehensive training. Yeah. So this is what the operations team need. And under the post-power interest grid, power interest grid, to document all these stakeholders under power interest grid, which is this, you see high power, low power, high interest, low interest. So you see here under high power and high interest. We have executive team in this team. We have development team and we have customers. So we've captured the people with high power and high interest. Then under high interest and low power, then we have vendors, we have marketing team. Then under low interest and high power, we have finance team, we have local government agencies. So this finance team, they are in charge of so many projects going on in the companies. So yeah, a company can have up to 200 projects going on at the same time. They don't have emotion attached to any project. They are there to do their work. They make sure that the budget control, financial discipline, and that is all they are not interested in, because they have a lot on their table. So their project is not so special to them because they have so many projects that are going through their table. So that's it. So you can see that some people working within the organization as well might not have so much interest, and they have high power. Then you see low interest and low power. These are logistics partners and operations team. So like all these logistic partners, you can easily change them, bring another partner. Operations team, these are people day to day, they don't have power. These are the low cadre employees like operatives and the rest of them. So high power, high interest, manage closely, executive team, development team. These stakeholders have a direct impact on the project and must be kept engaged and informed regularly to ensure alignment with the project goal. High power, low interest, keep satisfied. Finance team, local government agencies, regulatory bodies, and financial backers need to be kept satisfied with compliance and budget updates without being overwhelmed with project detail. Low power, high interest, keep informed. These are vendors, marketing team. Vendors and the marketing team are highly interested in the project success, but have limited influence. Keep them informed with regular updates. Help them ensure they remain supportive. Low power, low interest. Monitor them. Logistics team, operations. These stakeholders require minimal communication as their role in the project is limited, but they must still be monitored for any potential issues. So you monitor them. So engagement and communication plan. To address each stakeholder's expectation and influence, the following engagement strategy are recommended. Executive team, weekly project status updates, and monthly meeting for strategic alignment. So this team, there is no need of sending reports every day, weekly or monthly. Vendors, training session on the platform use. This is what they need. You don't need to have a strategic meeting with them. Just let them know how to use the platform very well, how to list their products, that's what they need. Support resources during onboarding. So many of them during onboarding might start having challenges. Publish weekly newsletters. It's going to be very educative for them to understand. The main thing is for them to understand how the platform works. Local government agencies, compliance documentation submitted monthly. Ad hoc meeting for any regulatory inquiries. Customers, post-launch customer survey promotional email and social media campaign to increase engagement. Marketing team weekly status updates, clear KPI, and access to promotional resources. Logistic partner monthly meeting to discuss demand, expectation, peak time, and delivery forecast. Development team regular agile meetings, sprint review, and user acceptance session. Finance team monthly budget and spending review meeting to ensure projects remain on track financially. So, in conclusion, stakeholder analysis is essential to identify and manage expectation, need, and concern of all parties involved in a project. So, in this full trackle expansion project, effective stakeholder management will ensure it will be crucial in achieving a smooth and successful expansion. Okay, before we leave, this is the template. Is a generic template. So you see the template, this particular full trackle can be you can adopt it as a template. So it's up to you to adopt a template that is aligned to any project you are managing. But why I'm coming with a generic template is a template that can be applied in a lot of projects. So this particular template here, which I'm sharing now, which I'll make available for you to download and share. This is it. This kind of template can be applied in any project, whether full trackle, whether any kind of project. Yeah. So you see here, stakeholder analysis, and you see here we have roles and involvement, and you see involvement planning, that is B, and C, communication action. So you see this template, we build it in such a way that it captures, is one document, but it captures everything here. So if you are planning, the first thing is to list all your stakeholders. Here you see stakeholder, you see Mr. Charles. You can list your own and put all the stakeholders down here. Then if you come to every stakeholder here, what is Mr. Charles' position in the organization? You can say Mr. Charles in full trackle. Mr. Charles is the CFO, that's the Chief Financial Officer. But in this project we are working, yeah, we know that Mr. Charles is the Chief Financial Officer, but in the project, we only have project sponsor. We don't have Chief Financial Officer. So Mr. Charles here is the project sponsor because he's securing funding for this project. So you see, the position in the organization can be different from the position in a project. You know, because Mr. Charles is the project sponsor. You see here, you click on this drop down, you select power. So Mr. Charles can be a high or low power. So because he's sponsoring, you give him a high power. So this is involvement. This is what it's supposed to be. This is my involvement level in this project. Any treatment below this involvement level, you are inviting problem for yourself. What is it supposed to be? This man is the project sponsor. you should accord him high power or high influence in this project. If you rate him low in this project, then you are inviting problem for yourself. So try to understand every stakeholder's position and accord them their position. Is when you are according them position different from what they are supposed to be. If this man is supposed to be a low-powered project and you're giving him high power, then we are modeling these things up. We are mixing things up. And it's going to be difficult for you because you are turning everything upside down. So understand those you give high priority. This man is high power. So somebody with high power should be aware of everything that is going on in this project. He must be aware. Everything must be so transparent. You don't hide anything. You know, you don't hide anything from this man. No matter what. Like, for instance, in your marriage, your husband should be high power. They'll give him high power. And because of that, your husband should be aware of everything that happened to you as a woman. If you're hiding anything for him, you're on your own. You know? So if you are buying a plot of land and your husband is not aware, you are inviting trouble for yourself. So if you have any plot of land now, you go and tell your husband about it. I'm telling you. Yeah. Rebecca, yes, go and tell your husband, though. That plot of land you buy in Ikoyi, you should go and tell your husband about it. Because as it stands, he's a high stakeholder in that house, in their home, in their marriage. Is this man supposed to be interested? Yes. Let's take your marriage, for instance. Why do you feel he should not be interested? He should be interested, highly interested in everything that concerns you. You are in your father's house, so this man see you and say that he's interested in you, and not just interested in you as a girlfriend, but interested in you as a wife. So you should be interested. So the level of interest, you cannot say somehow the man should be level of interest. No, the interest should be high interest. And you can't say no. Somebody who marry you say the man is not interested in you. Is it possible? It's not now. Likewise, your wife. So if your wife is stop being interested in you, then there's something you are doing that your wife don't like. You're Patrick. So if you at the midnight your hand is going somewhere and the woman is removing your hand, then you know you've committed something. So you go and resolve it with your wife. So because there's no need why you shouldn't be interested. Only if you got her angry. So the same thing applies in project. Then supportive. You say all the time, my business, this man is not supporting me. I don't know. I asked him to bring money. The other time, I need 10 million to add in this business. The man, I know the man can afford even 50 million, but he's telling me there's no money. You see, you must have done something. You use your tongue to count your teeth. What have you committed? That is support. The man refused to support you. So in this project, you call for Mr. Charles. Sir, I will want to have a meeting with you. Mr. Charles tell you, I have a meeting with, I'll be traveling to Abuja, and I don't know when I'll be coming back. The man has shown you that he's not interested in you. Maybe all of you are working in federal government projects. and you need to deliver this project as soon as, so you start peeing on your pants because you can even lose this your job because of this. So you should enjoy support from this kind of person. You should enjoy high interest from this person. The person should be aware of every move. It's you that is going to bring problem for yourself. When you buy, all of a sudden, your jewelry box started changing gold, diamond, without explanation. You start hiding it from the man. You don't know the man is aware of what is going on, but you are hiding it. The man will say you are no longer being transparent. So this is where the problem comes in. Where the problem comes in. Where somebody is supposed to be aware and he's not aware of what is going on. Of course, the level of interest will change and the level of support will change because you feel that you are not telling him what he's supposed to know. That is where the problem starts. So this is the baseline. Set the baseline. So from this baseline, you then have to come here and assess yourself. Periodically, let's say every month, you come here and assess yourself. Ask yourself honest question to understand, you see, is this man aware of everything I do in this project? Tell yourself the truth. If you want your project to survive, or if you want your project to progress, you must be honest. You are now assessing yourself. If you are being honest, and you say, yes, this man is not aware, I did this, so I send my brother to Canada, and this man is not aware. And yeah, on this note, you are being honest, so you say unaware. Because your house is a project or your marriage is a project. Unaware, then you see that you are the one inviting problem to yourself. The man should be aware. Yeah, that's what it should be. He should be aware. That is the current state should be. But if the current state is that the man is not aware, you send your brother to Canada. And maybe friends know how the man will know now. And they find out that you are the one who sent your brother to Canada. You might tell them story, but if the truth is in find out. So the man is not aware. So it means in their own project, you are being so cunning, unaware, no transparency, Then level of interest. You see here, because the man is not aware of everything is going on, you see here, aware, he didn't select aware because the man is not aware of anything going on. The level of interest, as yourself, you see the level of interest is changed. You are not going to say interested because he's no longer showing the level of interest he's supposed to show. And supportive, he is not supporting you. He himself is now being strange. So you're losing the support. This is the most important thing. You are losing the support of this stakeholder in this project. So you find out there is a gap in the project. If you don't correct this gap, your project is going to have problem. So for you to be honest with yourself, now this is what you need to do. On the desired level, what you are desired. Here, you come here desired, is desired, move from unaware and to aware. Make sure that the man is aware, the project sponsor is aware of everything that is happening in that project. Make sure your husband is aware. You send your brother to America, discuss it with him, secure his support. Yeah, Your brother is a family member. There's no way you can talk to your husband and rub his chest very well. He's not going to support you to send your brother to Canada or America, you know? So you even like to, because if he's obvious that he's supported, and when he comes to in-laws place now, they will give him a very big keg of palm wine as someone who have sent their in-law to America. So that's what he wants. So supportive. For you to enjoy this support, you need to move from unaware to aware. And that is going to boost the interest level. And you are now securing the full support. Yeah? You see, stakeholder management. You think stakeholder management is it's not small thing. Yeah. So use your own, everybody's managing problem or managing projects all the time. If you want to, can use your family as a project, your marriage as a project, you know, turn it into a project in your household, and you see everything, all the stakeholders, even your children, if they are not happy, there's nothing you are doing to them, they are not happy. They are stakeholders. So for you to get their support, try to find out all those things they are not doing, and you do it, you secure full support. Everybody in the house will start supporting you. And then you must understand this. You see here, we have moved into communication action. So we must understand the communication channel. If you look here, we have communication method. Under communication method, we can use email, you can use telephone, you can use a report. So understand, let's say Mr. Charles have said, send me report via my email, weekly report about this project. You see, his email, don't go and start calling him on phone, because you are going to have a problem. He might not even pick your call. And then responsibility. Who is responsible for sending reports every week to the project sponsor? Understand this particular stakeholder. Is it who? Is it project manager or is it BA? Some reports are BA supposed to be sending them, not you project manager. You are not, but your own duty, if it's BA, is the responsible person to send the reports. Your duty is to make sure that BA send these reports at this particular time. So try to understand what is the duty of BA and you are sending it. It's not gonna look well. You can't do everything. If it's your duty and you are telling BA to be sending reports while it's you that is supposed to send the report, it's not gonna look responsible. It's like you over-delegating duty. You don't even want to do anything. Some stakeholders will see that you are not serious because you don't want to do anything. But when it's clear that it's not you that's supposed to send the report, you are sending report to everyone, then there is no delegation of duty. There is no separation of power. There is no everything you. No. So responsibility must who send communication, a particular communication to a particular stakeholder. Frequency, how often? Weekly. For instance, you are sending weekly status reports. Is weekly. You decide when. Is it every Friday? Is it every Monday? Is it every Thursday? So you can say once. You can say maybe once in a week, once in a month. Which one? Decide. If you are meant to communicate with a stakeholder via phone call, you collect the phone call, collect the phone number. If it's not through phone call, collect the email. And after every communication, try to get a feedback from the stakeholder. Understand what the stakeholder said. You send the report, and what did he say? Yeah, you send the report, this, he say, good, I'm happy with the team, keep it up, or I'm not happy with the team, things need to change. You must document the feedback. So you can see this stakeholder analysis document is very simple and powerful. So I'm going to make it available so you can use it. And I've shared it to so many organizations I've worked with, and they loved it so much. So yeah. So I hope you learned something from this stakeholder analysis. This is where we're bringing it to end. And yeah, for those who have been not be communicating well, I've told you what to do for you to enjoy good outcome, support, communication, manage stakeholders. So yeah, if you have question, we're going into question time. Yeah. So I'm coming. Yes, if you want to ask question, you raise your hand. Raise your hand so we can see those who want to ask question. Okay. We are starting with Aisha.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Aisha.
Yes, sir. My question is it all the stakeholders that must, all the project sponsor, must they fall under the high influence and high interest and high power? Is it that in all cases they are always there?
What is
categorized under high power and high influence?
What is sponsor? What is project sponsor?
Yes, sir.
I'm asking you a question.
Okay. Project sponsor is the person that is responsible, like he has this is what he wants to do. This is what he wants to achieve. Like for me now, in this project management, I am the project sponsor. I have my goal at the end of the day that I want to achieve.
You are missing the track.
Okay.
I asked this question from the beginning.
Yes.
And you say they are the people that brings the money. Simple.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Now, somebody will bring money to finance something, and you go and give the respect to another person. You see? Is it good?
It's not good.
Is it good?
No,
Let
sir.
me tell you now. Your husband works hard and raise money and come and marry you. You cook, you won't put meat for this man. You cook, you kill fowl and go and give it to Reverend Father. Every Sunday you carry. If the man is going to be happy, do you expect the man to be happy? When the man don't chop meat, but you package meat and go and give Reverend Father in the church. It's not good now.
Yes, sir.
So that question is not, I didn't expect that question from you. Somebody, let's forget project management. They say that he who what they call it. The
He
pipe.
plays the pipe, he takes the tune.
So that is it. You are the one who is paying the school fees. It's expected that your son comes back to and tell you, yes, he should be telling you performance. You are bringing the school fees. You are the sponsor. You are sending him to school. You are paying for the school fees. So it's expected that he should be telling you what is going on. But your son is, you are paying school fees, doing everything, and you don't know what is going on in this school. Will you be happy with your son? You won't be. So it's simple logic. So whoever brings the money or whoever secures the funding should have high influence. You should accord him that respect. And if you want to have peace, make sure that everything you do on that project, let the person know about it. It's important because that project, before he can say most cases, that project is the person's brainchild. The person conceived it and started pushing for it, writing proposal. So many of these projects we see, it does not come from one proposal. It might have written up to 5 proposals they rejected, and eventually the organization approved the 5th proposal. It took time to come up before you see a project looking good, people funding for the project. It's not easy like that. I'll give you an example. You see a road being built by state government for some community. Do you know what I must have taken to secure that funding from the from the state government, some stakeholder, even the local government, the traditional rulers? They have done a lot of things. They have taken so many cows to the governor to lobby, and eventually they approved the construction of that road. So those people who work to secure the funding, whoever works to secure the funding, as we see that some people are attracting, like some of these people, senators in Abuja, they attracted road in their display. So, and the contractor, they should, that's why you see them, they come for oversee what is going on, inspection, because they work hard to secure the funding. It's not easy to secure funding. Yeah. So in a situation like that, make sure you don't play with such people. Yeah. Try to respect them. Even if they cannot stop at times they cannot, they secure the funding, they cannot stop the project, but you must always try to know the financiers and give them the respect that they deserve.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Frank, John.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. So my concern had been on the identification of the stakeholders, like you have rightly said. Like my community, there are projects spill over all over sponsored by oil companies, and most of them don't come directly. They use consultants to do them. So at times we are part of those projects. So how to identify them? And I hear you mentioning matrix, other forms of this. I would like you to throw more light on the matrix aspect of it, and the other one, see something.
I said power and interest matrix. I try to understand identify the stakeholders. For you to identify the stakeholders is Inquiries, you need to ask questions. All the people, whoever is engaging you in a project, you need to try to understand. If you are part of the project, as a project manager, you get all this information. Ask who hired you. It depends on the how you are coming into the project.
Yes, sir.
If you're a project manager or a business analyst, you will have access to understand who are all the stakeholders. If you're just a laborer there, you might be difficult because there's some questions they might not even want to divulge or give you, because looking at your position, you shouldn't be asking some questions. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
But as a project manager or as a business analyst, who hired you to manage a project should give you a list of all the stakeholders. These are questions you need to understand, to ask. If it's a company, go to HR, ask questions. You need list of stakeholders. Try to understand everybody's involvement. It's a work you need to do. It doesn't happen. That's why they pay you a lot of money, so that you go and do some research. You need to do some inquiries. You need to do some requirement gathering. You need to go ask questions. That's how to gather stakeholders list, identify who are the stakeholders before the project. So it's not automatic. There's nowhere you press a matrix and the stakeholders will fall from, their list will fall from 3. It's when you gather their list first, then you bring a matrix and add in them. This one is high interest. You say, this is where you belong. This is low power. This is where you belong. That is how to use metrics. The matrix is not going to generate the stakeholders for you. You go find the stakeholders and use their metrics to plot them, to make your job easy for you, so that you don't muddle things up. So you should know where to bring the metrics. You cannot start bringing stakeholder metrics while you don't have stakeholder list. Stakeholder metrics is not going to go and generate the list of stakeholders for you. You are going to use the metrics to manage the stakeholders, the list of stakeholders, so that it's going to simplify the work for you. So that you are not going to, if you need to send a bag of rice to high big stakeholders like high chiefs, then you can send it to somebody like me, which is a small stakeholder. I'll collect it quickly and I will even start cooking it that night, because I know that I'm not, when you come, you see me, I'm already cooking the rice, the bag of rice. You are not going to collect it back. So that is why we have to try to understand this, so that we don't go and give respect to the wrong person or send the report to the wrong person. There are some reports that are very confidential. Let's be serious about it. It's not about because of respect. Report. You might write a report and send the report to the wrong person, and it can be exposed even in social media. People might see what they are not supposed to see in public, and it might cause a problem. Yeah. Obona purity. Obona, are you there? Okay. Christiana Elisi.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Okay. Please, I want to ask, who is embodied with the responsibility of putting the activities of the project team members to check if I'm to work remotely?
activities of team members, the project manager, you, the project manager. So if you are the project manager, you are the one that is supposed to manage your team.
The network is so bad, we can't hear anything, please.
You can't hear me.
We can hear
We
you.
can hear you, sir. I think he's
We can't hear you. I think this is your own network that is
I
bad.
hear you from his own side.
Okay. Listen, have you hear what I said?
Yes, I heard what you said.
You are in charge of your team as a project manager, whether you are working remotely or you are working on site.
Okay.
Remotely or no remotely. Project management is project management everywhere. So that is it. So if you are working remotely, try to understand those are working under you and what they are meant to do. Yeah, we're going to look at racing metrics. As we are proceeding, racing metrics will help you to understand all your team members and their responsibilities. And you make sure that they do their work. If they don't do their work, they are not going to get fired by it's you that are going to get fired if you do not enforce them to do what they're supposed to do. It doesn't matter if you are the youngest, if all of them are older than you. As long as you are the project manager, you are the Oga, and they should listen to you. It doesn't matter if all of them are bigger than you. You know, it doesn't matter. You are the Oga, and you talk with authority. You know, you carry yourself responsibly with authority. You know, so if you start belittling yourself where you're supposed to be in charge, then it's going to affect your project. Because you know, some team members will always want to override you, some people will want to outshine you. Yeah. So, more especially if you don't carry yourself very well. So
I quite understand, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
I've been in a project. Yeah. In that project, all of us are laborers. And because then I was just like 2 weeks in this country. So before I go there, I was highly briefed and I made a lot of research. Some of them just come, well, and this guy, they are very crafty people. Say, how long have you been in this country? They are assessing you. I say, yeah, I'm just 2 weeks in this country. Oh, yeah, good man, good man. You like this country? Yeah. I say, yes, I like the country. It's okay. No worries. I'll help you. I'll make sure that this is a good country. I'll help you. If you have any problem, let me know. He's now taking dominion. He's now taking in charge of them because he find out I'm new. Yeah, and where things we are supposed to be doing together, he will come and tell me, go and do it. You know? And they will come and start inspecting me. Because he imposed himself on me as my manager. I laugh. I said, okay, let me see what this young man is up to. And he continued, he does it for 2 days. The third time I say, yeah. I told the guy off. I said, are you stupid? Are we not supposed to be doing this for our work? And this guy is a very small boy. When he realized his laugh, he said, hey, good man, good man. And since then, he stopped and we became friends. So, the point I'm making here is that in a project, you will see people will try to outshine you, even some business analysts working under you. If they know you are not firm, they will want to outshine you. They will try to weigh you. If they find out that it's something, you see a business analyst will take over and become the project man because they are looking for visibility. Some of them are trying to look for promotion. They want to some of them will even make themselves look so good, better than you, so that they will sack you and make them project manager. So, but You don't need to go and start fighting. All you need to do is carry yourself very well, know what you're supposed to do, say something and be firm. You don't need to shout. You just need to tell them what they're supposed to do, address them the way you're supposed to address them. Once they know you know what you are doing, you are fine. They will start respecting you. But if you are supposed to be having meetings, you don't call meetings, you don't send things you are supposed to do, you are not doing it. They already know you are not, you don't know your job. And people will emerge, another project manager will emerge from the team and subdue you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, yeah. Vivian, it's your turn.
Okay. Yeah. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Okay. My first question has actually been asked by John. How to get the stakeholders, all those involved. Was like, if you, as a project manager, how do you know everybody? If for instance, in the project side, to know who the laborers are, to know who the electrician and the rest to be involved. But you've explained that already, and I understood that. So thanks for that. Then another question is
The easiest way to do that is first try to understand what needs to be done. When you know all the things that need to be done, then you, for instance, I gave you a list of tasks. I gave you when I did project breakdown structure. Are you getting it? I gave you people a list of project breakdown structure. So in every task, ask question, who is responsible for this task? This will lead you to go and look for the person and add it. If you go there, you see where I say owners of every activity. Go there, the owner is a stakeholder. You already know the owner. Yeah, very simple. So if you, some of you do not pay attention, I've given you that say is project breakdown structure template or framework. You should have it. It's a big template for you. It's up to you to use it or not to use it. So it's very easy to identify them.
Okay, so your situation whereby there's a particular, maybe on your own template, there's a particular task to be carried out and they don't have it. The owner involved doesn't have such stakeholder. So can you invite such person that they could get one for you or you get for yourself?
Oh, there is a task and there is no, the owner does not have what?
Say for instance now, maybe you are building a house, then the sponsor, the owner, maybe after who is doing this, is doing that, then maybe there's a need for somebody who is to be charge of the maybe the materials, maybe a storekeeper, for instance. So for the sponsor doesn't have requirements or for storekeeper. But for you as the project manager, you need a supposed to be a storekeeper. So what happens in such a situation?
If you, that's why they have resources for the project. If it gets to a particular task and there is no one to do the task, then you go and hire them. Hire them doesn't mean the money is there for in the organization. Tell the HR you need so person to join your team, and they'll make advertisement. Once they check there is need for that, the HR will put adverts on LinkedIn, on Upwork, anywhere, and they'll start recruiting people, they start interviewing people. And before you know it, they send a team member to you to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
All right. Samuel.
Good evening. Good evening, sir. I must say that this particular course has gotten to me very, very on a personal note because I'm seeing a lot of mistakes that we've done. Like you said initially, what differentiates a particular project manager from the other is not just doing project, but are you following the principles that makes for project management? I just want to ask a question concerning when you have not carried your project sponsor along, as ought, and then you are beginning to notice that there's now this level of drop in communication and the person's engagement is clearly slowing down. Are there some, apart from, first of all, going to see that you are not giving reports as you are supposed to give initially, are there some professional ways to quickly build that gap to avoid a total, loss of that project? Are there some professional approach we can take to, correct that mistake with the project sponsor? Thank you.
Yes, so that's why I said if you notice there is a gap, most of the time when there is a gap, that gap will bring a lot of things, both in a relationship and a lot of things. All you need to do is bridge the gap. How do you bridge the gap? All those things you have not been doing well, you have to start bridging the gap by doing it well. And once you start doing it well, automatically you see the relationship will start improving. Simple, it's a simple logic. You find out in a gap, you have not been, as a lady, you have not been cooking food in your house. He's always ordering food, ordering this. A man will go to work and you order takeaway for him, order pizza for him. And the man will just be condoning because he wants peace to reign in his house. Of course, there will be this kind of cold atmosphere will start creeping in. Because, yeah. But when you start noticing that you yourself, you know, what have I not been doing well? You check up for 2 weeks now, you have not gone enter the kitchen because you are, no. The moment you go to the market and you cook better egusi soup and better pounded yam and serve the man, you see the laugh that will come from the man's face. True or false? Yeah, the man will laugh. Likewise, if you have not been submitting reports, your project reports, you're supposed to submit your project report by 12 p.m. every Friday. The other week, you forgot to submit a report because maybe the project sponsor or your line manager or your program manager is a very friendly guy. You say, well, after all, the guy don't even send self. This is the knowledge, what you tell yourself. Because the other weekend, you went out with the guy, you people had a drink and this and that. I've worked in a project every weekend. Our manager will take us out. All of us will drink, with the manager. You think because you've gone on weekend, all of us you are not doing what you are supposed to do because all of you are drinking in December. This guy not even there as I think. Nigerians would like to take advantage of, this guy you to fear. Now very correct man. I know say you know even they bother say 2 weeks you never send reports. He might, don't want to, maybe you have developed a relationship, but you see he's not gonna be happy with you. And that is it. From there, gradually, the relationship will start breaking down. until automatically the relationship will collapse. But if you quickly notice, all you need to do is quickly start rebuilding it by doing what you do. You don't need to go and lobby. You don't need to go and kneel down and beg. You don't need to start doing what you are doing wrong, start doing it right. Simple. When I did my youth service, this is a real life story. This guy was serving in legal unit, and everybody in the company used to love the guy, even all the senior managers in there. He's a youth corper. We started, mingling with the big boys in the company, and even going to club with them, partying with them, doing humanizing with them as a corper and senior managers. The guy started feeling pompous, started raising shoulders in the company. I'm hanging out with the big boys in town. And he forgot to do what he's supposed to do. And these are the people that are going to write a recommendation if the company needs to retain you. When it's time to retain the guy, all the senior managers this guy went to club with, none of them could write a good report about him. And they refused to retain the guy. The guy was crying like a baby. Everybody, even those senior managers, they avoided all of them. Nobody wanted to see him. And that's how the guy lost the job. He wasn't retained. My own, even like 2 weeks before our youth, they have already come to ask me, do I want to stay? Everybody wrote good reports about me. Everybody, even begging me. Even the employment letter, they've sent it, begging me to accept it. Because I was dedicated. I came all the way from Abuleba in Lagos to Victoria Island. And I'll be the first person to come to the work. And I'll be the last person to leave as a youth corper. I was assigned big responsibilities. All the managers, I do all the banking activities, all our branches, our account in Victoria Island, I manage all of them. And they see that this is the guy they want. They can even leave the office for me. They can leave things for me to do, and I will do it. This is the kind of person they want. They don't want people that will come in to drag a babe with them. You don't respect them. You and your senior manager will go to a club, and both of you will check a woman. Their senior manager like the woman, and you snatch the babe from their senior manager. All of you will laugh over it. And you think you are a big boy that you guys are, after all, the guy not even sent. He sent. So these are things you need to avoid. Try to be professional. Don't be so close or this. Be professional in your job. Do what you are supposed to do. That's not mean you're not going to be friends, but do what you are supposed to do. Every other thing then will be added on after you have done what you are supposed to do. If there is friendship, you do friendship. If there is no friendship, do your job and go home. Submit your report. Once the report, call for a meeting when there is due for a meeting. But when you have not submitted a report for 2 consecutive times and you are now inviting me for a meeting, what are we going to talk? I might even be looking for opportunities to kick you out. And this might be my best opportunity to pin you down. You are not competent and kick you out of the company. So,
thank you so much.
Yeah. I think we'll have the last person here is Rebecca.
Sir, I still want to ask my question.
Good
evening,
sir. See here, I don't wait for you. We've passed you and you lost that chance. That is the way it works. So you have to, we are talking about building responsible project managers. You don't just wake up and because you give you opportunity to ask question, you raise up and you go. No. So anytime you raise up, you pay attention to be called. When we call you, when we bypass you, you lose that chance. That is what we are talking here. Rebecca?
Good evening, Mr. Charles. Thank you very much for the classes so far. It's been amazing. So my question is based on the communication method. So is this one whereby a stakeholder prefers maybe email communication and you need an urgent response from the stakeholder. Then after sending an email message, there is no response from the stakeholder. So how is it not possible to use another method of communication to reach out to the stakeholder?
It depends on, you must have understand the stakeholder before you use different method. Because I'll give you an example. You are meant to communicate to a stakeholder via email, and the stakeholder went on annual leave. You send email and nobody is responding. You should check. Because most cases, if a stakeholder or an employee is going on annual leave, it will always reflect that the person is not available. The person is on annual leave, enjoying with his family, and you then start calling him for what? Because the company is on fire. They don't have people to know. They are not going to take it lightly, more especially these white people. You don't disturb them when they're on their annual leave. Some, you don't even call their private number. You don't. Yeah. So these are some of the things. But you can see them, your organ, if you are on annual leave, they can call you because you are a junior worker to them. Are you getting my point? They can even call you.
So you mean depending on the stakeholder? So I get it clear.
I'm telling you the way it works. You can be on annual leave and your senior manager can call you on phone because you are the junior officer. So they feel they have right, they have power over you. They can even drag you out of your annual leave and they need you on urgently. But what I'm saying is communicating with the senior management officers. Some of them, if they are on their annual leave, they wouldn't want you to disturb them. So the point I'm making is you send communication via the normal communication and you are not getting them. The best thing is to look for alternative person to communicate. Every company always have alternative. If they have somebody standing for them. If it's a governor, you send a mail to governor. Maybe let's use governor for instance, and you are not reachable. Try to reach out to the deputy governor now. He might tell you why the governor is not reachable. Not you trying to break the protocol and start calling governor via governor's number. Look for alternative person that you can reach when you don't get the main person. Yeah, that is the best way to do it. Don't breach protocols. People do not like when you breach protocol in the name of doing your job. Yeah?
All right, sir. Thank you very much. It's clear.
Okay. So, because I'm a very good guy, everybody will see it. I give Purity another opportunity to speak. Because next time, I'm not going to do that. If you raise your hand.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate. Sir, so my question is, as a project manager, working for a construction project, a building construction project, so whereby the stakeholders, whereby you're working remotely, then how can you monitor these low power and low interest stakeholders? Can you delegate some persons to go and
Of
monitor
course, you
them?
cannot work remotely in a construction site. Any person who is giving you work as a project manager in construction site should examine his head. Because you cannot handle construction project remotely. It's on site. Projects you can manage remotely are digital project, IT project. These are mostly projects you can monitor remotely because the project is the project outcome is digital. It's something you can see digitally. For instance, if you are building a software, you can access the software digitally. That is the reason we manage it remotely. Outside that, you are working with a project manager with oil company where there is oil rig. You need to go there and inspect the work. You are building real estate, you are a project manager. Then you tell them to be snapping the picture and be sending to you. I will go to VI and be snapping the best building and be sending to you. And we are not going to be doing anything. At the end of the day, that is what they do. A lot of people who live abroad. You're sending money to Nigeria for them to build a house for you. They'll be snapping big houses. You'll be dancing. My house in Nigeria. I have 2 estates in Nigeria. And when you come to Nigeria to see it, you fall stroke. So the answer is no. No remote working for on-site projects. Construction project is on-site project. You might have up to like, say, it can be 50-50. 2 days from home, 3 days on site, or 2 days, so that you have time to always go to the site to inspect what is going on. But to say it's 100% remote, na lie. Nobody even going to hire you to do that. Because those who are going to hire you are going to cry. Because the outcome is always crying. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Lord Peters have concluded my distance, so you trying to test my patience. Not this night. You can ask your question.
Good evening, sir. Sir, please, I'm sorry I can't turn on my video because there is no light where I am. Her question triggered my question. That's why I want
If
to
you
ask.
don't have light, you use candle. I've said it. If you don't have candle, you use torch.
Okay, sir.
You guys need to be disciplined when you are dealing with me.
Sir, please, I want to ask, good evening once again. What if we are giving a project remotely that we don't have an idea about, what do we do?
You're doing a project remotely and you don't have idea of the project.
Yes, sir.
Have you been attending lessons since we start this?
Yes, sir.
Tell me what project brief is.
Project brief is all about the project sponsor giving you information about what the project is all about.
So how then you are telling me you don't have idea of the project? Why the project sponsor have given you a brief, and now you are telling us you don't have idea of the project and you have received a brief? Love.
Yes, sir.
Our love, tell us.
For instance, let's use the wedding. We have ideas on the steps to go about in achieving a successful wedding. Now, if they give us a project that it's something that is not common, how do we get information about how to handle that?
Example of what project that they give. What kind of project would they tell you?
Like building softwares.
Softwares. They tell you to build a mobile app.
Yes, sir.
And the mobile app they are telling you to build, they will discuss, they will tell you what they want to use the mobile app to achieve.
Okay.
Now they will state everything. Now you already have idea. How dare you say you don't have idea? They've told you everything about what that mobile app is going to do. So then, if you don't know anything about mobile app, you are a project manager. All you need to do is, if you have a project breakdown structure template I give to you, you go there, you look for who is supposed to do this. Business analyst is supposed to do requirement gathering to understand the main details of this project. The business analyst, the business analyst to go and do requirement gathering. The business analyst will go and gather requirements and break down the requirement, do the analysis, and come back to you and educate you and all the things they need to build. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
And then after the business analyst must have designed everything, then you go and hire you can bring in developers. Developers will start building. So what's there you tell me you don't know?
Thank you very much.
There's no project you cannot handle as a project manager.
Okay.
But the issue here is you guys do not pay attention to details. You think you can become a project manager, and I tell you to understand the template. You do never understand the template. When I say read this template, lick it like ice cream, go and lick it. You will be in the university, they will give you a textbook. Within 5 minutes, within 2 days, all of you will go and read the whole textbook upside down because you want to get 2-1. 2-1 is not going to give you a job. What is going to give you a job is this practical application. When I say lick my template, lick it like ice cream, you lick it. You know, if I say eat it like shawarma, you eat it like shawarma. And there, so project management is an application. You can apply it anywhere. That template I give you, work breakdown structure, you can use it in wedding, you can use it in a project, construction project, you can use it in software development, anywhere. So anyone you do not understand, You are not meant to understand everything. That's why we have requirement gathering. You keep on gathering requirement, and it's not even you that are going to do the requirement gathering. Business analysts will help you to do the requirement gathering. You continue to gather requirements, ask questions. Even if they still build a house, the house we have, if you build a house before, it might be another way. You might have the one you built before might have 2 doors. This one, the house we are building, might have 5 doors. So you keep on gathering requirements. How do you want this particular house to be? How many doors? How many days? You continue to gather requirements. Continue to ask questions. From day one, ask questions. That is how you know what you do not know. And I'm not scared of any kind of project, even if I've never been in that project domain before, because I know I'm going to ask questions. I know I'm going to do research. Yeah. And I know I'm not working alone. So.
Thank you very much, sir. Well understood.
Okay. Patrick, and no words to raise hand. I'm not going to attempt to anyone because some of you guys are beginning to take advantage of my kindness.
It's all right, Mr. Chad. Thank you for this wonderful presentation today. There is something I want to know. I am presently in a project for the construction of additional transmission lines in the country. In identifying these stakeholders, you know, in Nigeria, the federal government is the major funder of this project through the Niger Delta Power Holding. Now, they wouldn't want you to identify them as major stakeholders. Now, going to the field, we encounter another problem, which, of course, they told us that land belongs to the government. And whoever has any property along the right of way shouldn't be compensated. Now, stakeholders who are also members of the community are saying they must be compensated. How do we handle this? That's question one. Question two, sir. We use mostly monitoring plans and stakeholders engagement plans. I don't know, how do we mesh these two? Monitoring plans, we have, there are monitoring plans and have stakeholders, which is stakeholders analysis, and other people use stakeholders engagement plans and other grievance redress mechanisms. So how do we explain some of these key terminologies? Because this project is opening my eyes more, because I've been handling a lot of this environmental impact assessment without the grounded basis of what you are opening my eyes to see now. Please, I want you to help me and address. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. In this project, you see there are conflicts of methodologies, you know, and you remember when I talk about project management office. Every project or every organization should have a project management office. The purpose of project management office is to make sure there is consistency. If they said what we need to use here for stakeholder management is stakeholder analysis document or power and interest metrics, it becomes a standard across board, so that no other person is going to come and use different methodology that will start conflicting. Or if they say we are going to use waterfall methodology, everybody will key into waterfall methodology. We have different project methodology. We have waterfall, we have agile, we have extreme programming, but the project management office need to decide the methodology to avoid this inconsistency. That is number one. That need to be addressed so that every documentation, every action will be uniformed. So when they are uniform, good. In stakeholder documentation or stakeholder analysis, you are not creating that stakeholder analysis document to please stakeholders. You say that the stakeholders, they don't want to be identified as high stakeholders. It's not what they want. They are not going to tell you, the stakeholders who do not know anything about stakeholder management. That's why we are there as the stakeholder, as a project manager. You apply the best practice in a project where there is low, I told you, when there is poor stakeholder documentation or management, it's going to cause a problem. So it's your duty to create authoritative stakeholder analysis document and plot everybody where they are supposed to be. Whether they like it or not, you know their role. Plot them where they are supposed to be. The villagers, village communities, if you look at, I already captured them. They are part of the stakeholders. They are pressure group. They are stakeholders. You need to carry pressure groups and give them what is due to them. You are not going to say federal government is not going to, no. There are laws protecting people's, they need compensation. It's not about what the federal government or who, some people might not want to do what is right because they are in the power. It's your duty to tell them this is the right thing. If the project collapse, you let it, but the main thing you need to tell them what they are supposed to hear. As a matter of fact, at some point you need to carry out workshop to sensitize stakeholders on what they need, what is expected. Anywhere there is right of way, people get compensated, whether federal government or state government. You cannot, where somebody is living over a time and put a road there. Where do you want the person to live? On the air? On the tree? There are laws protecting people. So that should be activated if they want peaceful delivery of that project. Those people can be, the villagers or the community can wage a war against the workers and even kill them. So you need to have a meeting, this conflict resolution. Conflict resolution, you need to apply conflict resolution on this. The conflict resolution is you need to stand firm on the truth, on the best practice. You don't need to be biased. So if you are this project manager, you need to be firm. If there is need for compensation, then there should be adequate compensation. That is, there is no two ways. There is no two ways about it. The law. I was a local government chairman, and I've overseen a road. State government built a road, and that road bypassed through people's land, and those people who owns the land, they were compensated. We compensated them. So saying that it's federal road, that is a lie. I disagree with you that is a federal road that they say that is a lie, because I've handled government road construction before under my supervision as a council chairman.
It is not a normal road, sir. It is a transmission line. It's a transmission lines.
What the weather transmission, there is a, if you go to, I might not know the specific rules, but if you go to constitution, there are clauses protecting people. Weather transmission in any way, forget all these big, when you want to take over ancestral land, whether federal or state government, there are things that need to be done. You don't invade people and go away. This we call ancestral land. People were born there. Yeah. So government need to protect them. It's either government move them to another place, build houses for them, and take their land. If some of this land are where these people are getting their daily bread, that's why, because of oil exploration in Niger Delta, in areas, they are getting compensation. That's why they are getting derivatives. Some states are getting higher than other states. That some governors are not giving them what is due to them doesn't mean they are not being compensated. Federal government compensate them. So even if they go to court, that particular derivative can be activated and they will win the case. Because it's been recognized that when federal government is taking over people's means of livelihood, they should be compensated. That's why in Niger Delta, they are training them, giving them, those who are supposed to be farmers, they train them to become maybe a mechanic, channeling them into another area and giving them resources to go and start instead of farming, because they've taken away their source of livelihood, their farmland. That is the main purpose of training them. They send so many of them to America. They send so many of them to Canada. They send them different to get skills because their main source of livelihood have been taken. So they need to be re-equipped to get other source of livelihood. So don't tell me transmission or no transmission. It's not gonna work. If you don't do what you are supposed to do, address the community and give the community what is due to the community, or that project is not gonna work. Then even if they bring mobile people, after building, when the people leave, they will come and destroy it. So you need to reach a peaceful compromise and resolution, harmony with the community people, settle them. Like I'm not telling you because I read or I've witnessed it live. I've managed more than so many road construction, major road in Enugu State as a council chairman. So it's not by theory, it's by practical.
It's all right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
It's all right.
All right, thank you, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow. So, like I said, if you do not, when we finish a lesson, try to go and reread, try to understand. You are not, this is a big career path. As a matter of fact, project management is one of the biggest career paths in the whole world. Everywhere across the globe, they respect it. But you cannot become a project manager with a kid glove. You come look at me, you go home until you see link again, you join another link. When you join it up to how many times you start submitting your CV, you're on your own. You need to try to leak. You see the way, when we're in primary, in secondary school, so many of us, when we read more like, let's say, modern biology, before we write Some of us read modern biology up to 5 times, up and down. You read it and reread it and reread it before you go and face the exam. But these days, people do not read. You just come and watch, look, Mr. Charles, you go. Next thing, you start submitting CV. It's not going to work.